heck did I do with my ruler? Hello, Mr. Ruler. 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 Ah, there it is. Went on the seat. All right. Hey everyone, it's Tony from the Handlebar Workshops. Today I'm in the garage workshop. I've built the Morris chairs, but they're all a little hard to sit on at the moment. I need some cushioning, something a little soft to rest my little booty on. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I've got my wife Mandy helping me out with a lot of the sewing because I just can't work a sewing machine. I can do a table saw just fine, bandsaw, but don't ask me to do a sewing machine. I can't. I need to knock off the corners so it fits in the chair. I have FB here, means front back. There's another one back here, because it doesn't matter which is which. I am taking the width of this ruler blade here, then using that to strike a 45, just like that. Then I'll use my circular saw to cut it off, approximately. Doesn't need to be perfect. So the FB is right here, so it's a front or back, doesn't really matter which. That's going to sit in there nicely. Now I just need to work on the supports for that. Alright, so I'm going to use a piece of plywood as a support for the seat here. Not exactly sure where it goes yet. This is a cutoff from this piece down here. So that's going to give me a thickness, and I can put it right here, it's flush with the back rail. And I'm going to clamp that down here. Alright, so you're looking under the back rail, up at the top of the front rail here. I'll show you what I can do with this. Alright. Now I can just screw those in. You might say, why not use that same cutoff up here? But because of the angle, it's actually going to come up a little bit higher here. So here, there's a little bit of a ledge now. So this is a little proud of the plywood. So that wouldn't have worked. And in much the same way, we do the same thing with the other piece of plywood brace here. Alright, so we're inside the house because I needed a wide open space with very little dust to work on here. I got a bunch of foam here. I'm going to start making the cushions for the chair. This is a queen size memory foam mattress topper, and this is just some firm foam off the internet. You may recognize this as the bottom of the seat that I cut out to go between the two cherry rails, just below the walnut slats. I've got my FB, my front back here, and my front back here. So this is going to be the front or back. Doesn't really matter. Since this wood only goes between the two cherry rails and not the walnut slats, that's all this cushion's going to go through. And I don't want that. I want it between the walnut slats. So I'm going to scoot it over about a ½ inch and keep it square. And then on the front, we also have that cherry rail, which is about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to move this back about an inch, because I don't want that cherry rail coming up and hitting me on the bottom of my leg here. So now I'm just going to take a marker and mark along the sides here. Move that out of the way. Just cut with some scissors. That's really not working. All right, we'll try with a razor blade. Oh, that worked much better. There, now I can use this to mark all my other sizes. Or for the mattress topper, I actually made myself a little cut list here so I can kind of follow along. Haha! Victory is mine. The idea for the seat cushions is this. These are each 2 inches of foam. The idea is now I got a 6-inch seat to sit on here. With memory foam on both sides. So that way if I ever want to flip the cushion, I got memory foam on that side too. So this is the back of the cushion. I put a B on there to mark the back, but you can see why it's the back. It's all chewed up and everything, and I kind of want to hide the crimes. On top of this is some Dacron here, and it's going to kind of level out some of the places and hide more of my crimes, because there's a lot of crimes here. This is pretty nasty looking. I'm used to working with wood, not with foam. At least not this kind of foam. So I marked the center here and here, and I marked the center on my Dacron as well. There's a bunch of different ways to upholster a cushion. One way is to cut the squares that fit the top and bottom and then cut something that goes around and then sew it to that. So you have a seam that goes all the way around the top and all the way around the bottom. And then you could have some kind of piping, they call welting, that goes around that as well. I'm going with what they call the bullnose cushion, where it's just going to kind of come from the back. Well, this is the back, but if that was the back, it would come around and then go back, and then there'd just be on the sides here. So that way there's no seams where your legs are going to be. That's what my wife and I decided on. So we're going to start at the back, go around the front, and come back on the bottom. Since this is the back where the zipper is going to go, we're not going to put any Dacron covering the back because we don't want this stuff getting caught in the zipper. It's stuck up in the front here. Work our way back. Cut out any creases or bumps. Alright, so I'm going to start marking out my cushions here. Most sewing sites will call this the wrong side and this the right side. I feel that has some moral judgment to it that I'm not ready to commit to, so I'm just going to call this the inside and the outside. I'm marking everything on the inside, that way it doesn't show on the outside. Pushing the end of the ruler up against the inside of a walnut slat, I measured all the way across to the walnut slat on the other side, the inside of that walnut slat, and it came out to 25 inches. I'm going to give myself a 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around, so that means I got to go up to 26.5. Now, like I said, I'm giving myself a 1/2 inch seam allowance, so I'm going to mark off at 26 here and 1/2 inch over here. Now, I'm guessing I bought myself way too much fabric because I was not expecting to be able to get 2 cushions out of one, but I can. I can get 2 cushions out of this, so I'm going to have twice as much material as I need. That way, if I screw up, I'm all right. So this is a 6-inch square right here. This will give me square to this here, which is what the cushion will be, square to this part here. It's going to be about 5.5 to 6 inches, so it's going to be right up here, and it's going to be on the inside of these legs. So these legs will help prevent it from falling out the back. I got to see how far it is to come up to here, and it'll squish between these legs a bit, but that's fine. But I want to make sure I cover the front rail here. So it may come out to just 26.5 to allow some pushback here. Actually, I think I'm just going to go with a 27. All right, so with the Dacron on here, I'm showing about 7 inches thick. The cushions alone are about 6. Everything I've seen online says to drop it, about a ½ inch to an inch or so. So I'm going to go with a 6-inch thick cushion. We've already measured from the chair that we need 27, and then half of this, of a 6-inch rise, would be 3. So that's 30, and then we got to add a ½ inch for the seam allowance. So we got 30.5 inches. So we measured a 30.5 inches, which is right here. And that's going to mark the center of the cushion as it comes up and around. So I do another 30.5 over here, right there. So this is going to be my cut line right here, which will give me my full wrap around for both seat cushions. Now the cut line here is less than square, so I lined up the edge here with the edge of my bench and took a T-square and drew a line across right here. So I know I've got my cut line here, the same type of thing, 30.5 inches. I'm not too worried about being square at the moment. And then another 30.5 inches. And I'm going to take a straight edge here and draw the line connecting these two center points. And same with the cut line up here. So now with these lines, I'm going to mark the 26.5. Now I'm going to connect my cut lines here. While I'm laid out like this, I'm also going to put in my seam lines here so I have a line to follow when I'm sewing. And here I can mark my seam allowances to go sideways. So now I've got it all cut out. So we've got our center line here. And I said we're going to make a 6-inch thick cushion. So I need to go 3 inches to this side and 3 inches to that side. And then do the same on the other side. So with the fabric going over like that, I only need to do these 3 sides. It's going to go from the 3-inch mark over here all the way around to the 3-inch mark over here. But I'm also going to have a zipper back here, which is going to have its own separate panel. So I only need to go cut something about that long, and then another piece about that long for the zipper. So I'm going to need 2 sets of each, so 4 of these and 2 of these. I'm just going to mark it 28 inches, and it's going to be a little bit of an overhang. Just going to write it down here. And then this one, I call 27. And those will have to be 6 inches wide plus a ½ inch on each side for the seam allowance, so 7 inches wide. So it's by 7 by 7. It's my cut line. And I'll put in my seam allowances. So like almost everything with this build so far, I've been amazed at how well everything has turned out, especially these cushions. And I couldn't have done it without Mandy's help. I'm so grateful to have her around to help me out in times like this. If you like Mandy's work, give her a thumbs up. Think about hitting subscribe below, because now that we got a beautiful chair to sit in, you can't really put your feet up on anything at the moment. So next one we'll be building footstools. So make sure you check that out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.